It's been nearly 2 years since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but President Vladimir Zelensky facing a dwindling stockpile of weapons and, frankly, billions of dollars of foreign aid in doubt. U.S. lawmakers left for the holiday break without agreeing fresh funding, while EU cash has been blocked by Hungary's Viktor Orban. Now Bloomberg has a feature about how Ukrainian businesses are becoming more self-reliant. Dasha, you've been speaking to businesses in Ukraine. Is there a sense of purpose in terms of how they're actually beginning to feel?
Absolutely. Ukrainian businesses have been adapting to the war, and there's a real recognition that it's not going to be a short conflict and that they have to be, to a large extent, self-reliant. And I think that has created a new sense of purpose, both for the businesses and for the employees, because it's not just about making profit and, selling wet wipes or diapers or whatever it may be. I spoke to a milk producer as well. It's about ensuring Ukraine's survival, because those tax receipts go into the public coffers. There's the trade balance to think of. So they're motivated by this sense of purpose, which isn't to say that it has been easy. It hasn't at all.
How have the negotiations actually progressed or changed when it comes to the United States and the EU? There's an argument here, one that I will say is in the minority, but an argument nonetheless that if you start to see kind of a pullback in some of the funding from the U.S. and the EU, it actually motivates Ukraine to find an independent solution in a way that it perhaps wasn't incentivized to before. What does the negotiations do to change some of that outlook?
I mean, look, I think it brings home that Ukraine can't depend on anyone in the way that it can on itself. But if you look at the budget for next year, the defence spending is covered, almost covered by the budget. So that's tax receipts from both individuals and companies. It gets to about 93%. But that's if you assume that there's no other spending. And of course, there has to be public spending. Roads have to get fixed, hospitals have to be run, schools have to run. So I think that this idea that Ukraine can be completely self-sufficient when it's fighting this much larger ally seems a bit unfair, really. And then if you consider the way the debate happens, it almost seems as if it's this tap that you can turn on and then turn off and pick up where you left off. But of course, that the humans are involved, and every failure to kind of regain ground or any military losses go hand in hand with human losses, and those people can't be brought back, and those are resources that can't kind of just be replenished. So I think that's this idea of motivating. I'd say from our reporting, businesses are already incredibly motivated, and motivated to invest in their businesses, to find new export routes, to develop new products, to take up markets where Russians have left, for example, tea production. So motivation doesn't seem to be a problem, but it is tough.